Am I peeling on my nose?
A little bit, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I actually had a sunburn nightmare last night.
Bro.
I was like, I got a lot of fucking sun this weekend.
Look at this, dude. Look at my neckline. It's like...
Oh, gnarly.
Yeah, dude. I got
bad. Got it real bad, too.
I pulled up my sleeves in my long sleeve, and you can see like a sleeve line right here that I got burnt.
Yeah.
Can't wait for it to be not wetsuit season for you, so you don't have a farmer tan anymore.
Oh, thanks, Ben.
I love the farmer tan. It's all good, man.
I feel feisty right now because I haven't been fed.
Apparently.
Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 7 of From the Van. It's a podcast from my van, where I have conversations with people who have relationships with residential vehicles. Today's episode features Jarrod Tocci, YouTuber extraordinaire, architectural engineer, comedian, and backwards hat wearer. We had a great conversation. I've known this guy for almost a year. I met him right after I bought my van because he YouTubes about his experience in the van and his van build, but also does tours of other people's vans. Very worth checking out. He came and played a show that I intermittently host in Hollywood with my friends Jeff and Carlos named That's Shoe Biz. It's an improv and storytelling show, and he came and told a story for us. He's a stand-up comedian. And yeah, we have a good conversation here. As usual, some chaotic shit happens through the episode, of which I'm very proud. Somebody bumped into the van, and we had a couple of near visitors on the episode because we were sitting there with the door open. Enjoy all of that. And if it irritates you, well, you can stop listening. This episode also is the first one where we're joined by my dear girlfriend and van mate, Colette Hamilton. But it's not about us. This is about Jarrod, guys. So I hope you enjoy episode 7 of From the Van. Again, you can go to www.fromthevan to find all sorts of whatever's happening in this ever-evolving or devolving world of mine. There's a blog. All of these things are up on YouTube. You know all of that. At From the Van on Instagram. Let's see what happens. This is episode 7 with Jarrod Tocci. Thanks for listening, guys.
Tell us what your deal is. What are you doing? How long you been in a van?
Ooh, man, I've been in a van. It's like 22 months right now.
Okay.
So I'm almost at the 24-month mark.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I sold my van.
Yeah.
My first van I built, I sold it, and I'm delivering it at the end of the month. And then I've already bought. I haven't picked it up yet, but I'm picking up a 2019 Sprinter, which I'm excited about. Yeah. And then I'm building that out, and I'll be doing that build in 3 different cities.
Which size is it?
It's the 144-inch wheelbase, so the cargo.
What we like.
Yeah, it's high roof. Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm really, really excited about it. It's about 10 feet of cargo space, give or take.
Do you think you're gonna do flares?
No, but they're a good question, and I've seen them on a couple 144s. Mm-hmm. I am not going to sleep this way.
Oh, you're not?
Yeah, and I wouldn't tell this, but what I'm about to say, but I already announced it on my YouTube, so I'm okay.
Okay.
But I designed a Murphy bed to go inside of it.
Okay, yeah. You told me that the other day.
Yeah.
I remember you I think I saw a video where you toured some really sleek ass shit that like turned into like everything was just countertops, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember who that guy was, but he had a Murphy bed. Yeah.
That was Brennan Buckley.
Yeah.
I still keep in contact with him. He built another van actually.
Okay.
But his Murphy bed came off the sidewall, and that was on a ProMaster. My Murphy bed's coming off the back wall.
Dope.
Yeah, because Sprinters are so the curvature of the wall, the sidewalls are so curved, I guess, and the ProMasters are more square.
Okay.
So I can't do it.
You sleep sideways in your current van. They're wide as hell, right?
So wide, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Why are you moving to a Sprinter?
Man, that was a good question. I was about to ask you if you've ever driven a Mercedes, but we're kind of sitting in one. Honestly, when you drive a Mercedes and you drive a ProMaster and you drive a Transit, there's no question.
That's great coming from a guy who actually has a ProMaster, because I was at this Mercedes dealership a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Getting my 30,000 miles done or whatever, and I asked the Sprinter man at the thing, and I was like, I know you're gonna have a biased answer to this, but I was like, why a Sprinter instead of a ProMaster? He goes, have you driven a ProMaster? And I was like,
I have nothing bad to say about the ProMaster, but it's just a level up when you go into a Sprinter.
Okay.
It's the luxury of it. I mean, there's a reason why they're $10,000 more.
This thing drives like a car.
It's great.
I'm super impressed by the way this handles.
Super smooth. People complain about the maintenance costs, But I think it's justified, you know, and I think.
I dropped $1,200 that day.
Did you?
It
happens.
Just like transmission fluids and
like a tune-up.
A tune-up.
Yeah. That sucks. I'm going in for mine tomorrow because I have to, bring it to
make sure that it's in perfect condition.
So I'm really scared. I'll let you know what I spent on mine.
Okay.
Because I'll be interested in this price compare.
What the Dodge is?
Yeah.
How many miles do you have on the ProMaster?
Under 30. I'm at like 27,000.
Jeez, dude. You don't move around too much.
No, I've been in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
The last, 2 years. I really haven't. The biggest trip I went to was LA to Eugene, Oregon for a festival.
Northwest.
The Tiny Fest Northwest. Yeah, that was the biggest drive I did. I actually drove cross country twice. So I bought it out here, drove it to Boston, did the build, and drove it back.
Oh, okay.
That was it.
I didn't realize. I thought you had started in Boston.
No, I actually lived out of it for a month bare.
Just as a
air mattress and my clothes and my motorcycle. That was it.
We did a lot of that with the van, but just like day trips and stuff while the build was happening.
It sucked.
Oh, the air mattress was so shitty too. We would wake up and one of us it would be him, would be all the way on the ground, and I'd be like up on a curve.
'Cause I'm the heavy
and
one.
we're like, okay.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I literally was just looking because I'm actually going to be living out of my Sprinter, not built for while I'm traveling from state to state.
Yeah.
So my traveling, I'm picking it up in Utah. I'm going to Santa Cruz, California, and then I'm building it again in Boston. So during that time frame, it's not going to be built.
Pretty bare bones, yeah.
So I was looking at mattress pads.
Throw a mattress pad or something in there.
Yeah, I'm just going high end. I was like, screw it.
Air mattress.
Yeah, I'm buying REI. I'm going. I already looked on their website yesterday, and
for your bed or for your interim bed?
Yeah, just my interim bed.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll use it. I'll keep it as a guest bed.
Yeah.
For somebody who wants to sleep on the floor. So it's fine. It's not.
That's such a wonderful option to be able to have.
Yeah.
Are you getting just a cargo van?
Yeah, actually, I'm putting in my own windows. Yeah.
Because we took a trip out with our buddy Jeremy to the desert a couple weeks ago, and it kind of sucked because there's totally space back here for him to throw his tent and all his camping gear in, but there's not a seat belt, and I'm not gonna drive a considerable distance with my buddy in the back without a seat belt.
Oh, that's a good point. So there was more than two of you in the vehicle?
Well, so it was me and Colette and Spin and Jeremy, and so Jeremy had to drive his truck out because, so I sort of.
Seat?
He had to drive separately. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spin usually gets this seat, and I sit in the middle in between the two seats.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just face down. She lies face down.
Spin's in charge. It's his van.
So here's another question: when somebody buys the Ghost Van ProMaster, do they get the Instagram account
Hell
with
no.
it?
No, that's mine. Although I am calling my next van Ghost 2, but I'll just keep it as Ghost.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? The girl that's buying it, she is not social media whatsoever. She's the oddest 25-year-old I know.
Oh, you told me she found you on Craigslist.
She found me on Craigslist, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that guy's on the internet and I want his van.
Yeah, no, I was like, how did you find? Yeah, she just wanted the van. She's a traveling nurse. I asked her if I could do a video with her. She respectfully said no. She wasn't no. She was kind of shy about it.
Right.
And I was like, don't worry about it. I'm not going to put you on.
Right.
And I was just like, I'm going to do a video of me dropping it off, though, just to let you know.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. And yeah, she's just a really cool girl that wants to she wants to downsize.
Right.
She's in a 1978 Winnebago, vintage Winnebago. She redid it. And she's like, I have a car, and she's like, I want to downsize. I want to get into one vehicle. And she's like, your van is perfect for me. And I was like, cool. I was like, you've seen the inside of my van. It's kind of mannish, I guess. Yeah. But she loves it. So I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Great.
So I'm excited for her.
That's super cool.
Yeah, she's not getting Ghost though. That baby's mine.
So, you're having a considerable amount of success with your accidental YouTube channel.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely fun. And my first video I posted has almost 1.9 million views.
That's your van build?
That was my van build. That was my first build. I do have a degree in architectural engineering, so that helped. I did have help from my father. That helped. He's got 40 years of construction.
Okay.
We did I only had a GoPro as a camera, and I documented it because I was kind of timid and shy at first, and I documented it throughout the build, My dad didn't even know I was documenting it, and then when I posted the video, he's like, I didn't even know you had all this footage.
Yeah.
And I cut it up. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how to edit. I had to watch tutorial videos on how to do all that stuff. And, you know, it just, I posted the video on January 2nd, 2018. 2 days later, it's got over 10,000 views, and then the next day, it's got another 5,000, and the next day after that, it's like 20,000. It's like, it just progressively just kept on booming.
Rad.
So I was like, I'm onto something here.
Yeah.
So I'll do another video, and I did a tour video, and then I did like a price list video, and then I was just searching for content at that, and then I just fell in love with it. I was like, I'm not doing anything else now. Screw this.
Yeah.
I love it.
And you're still doing a bunch of videos, but I mean, obviously you can't do 200 videos on the exact same van, right?
Well, I do a vlog mostly of how I live.
Yeah.
And people will say like, oh, the vlog can get boring for van life, but it's like, I don't know. You know me. I'm not really that boring. I like to think that I'm not, and I want to also show, and I'm going to be putting you in my new vlog because I'm doing a new vlog about comedy on the road.
Okay.
And I want to do like a behind the scenes vlog of comedians.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really see it out there, but nobody really sees what we go through behind the scenes, what like the depression we go through. Having a relationship, in a comedy world is difficult.
Yeah.
When you go into a green room and whoever allows me to film back there, so things like that, I want to show those kind of things. And I want to show like, we sit there and we kind of freak out, and we have to have acceptance from, either it's 2 people in the audience or 200 people in the audience.
Right.
It's us back there in the green room kind of like freaking out a little bit, or maybe you're calm as hell, and I kind of want to show all that.
Yeah. Cool. I didn't even know you were working on that.
Yeah.
What would you say that your breakdown of like vlog videos to
I just announced that, by the way, just now.
Well, I'm talking. I'm not even talking about the comedy ones, but like your personal van vlog.
Yeah.
You talk about your experience in the van a whole bunch. But
yeah.
You also do a whole bunch of tours of other people's vans.
Oh,
right?
that I do van tours. So I do like a couple different things. I do the van tours. I did yours, which I can't wait to show, and I'm really upset you weren't here. But I do a van tour. I know. Next, I'm gonna like a follow up with you guys. I do van tours, which is probably the most popular because people want to see other people's vans. But I also like to show like companies that are involved in van life. I did a tour of Alumnus. It's a bumper company, and I showed the entire system. And I just like to promote people that are like in the community of van life
and making like creative. That video, I was like, damn, that stuff is cool looking, and I'll bet it's real expensive, and it makes me paranoid about driving in places where there's big game now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that would destroy my house if I hit him.
I wish I put the pictures up that they showed me.
Oh, yeah.
Of like what the bumper did after they hit a bear, elk, whatever they hit.
Yeah, we should say that like what this bumper is. It's like a heavy duty ass aluminum bumper that's bolted to the actual chassis of the van, so that rather than crushing to protect the people in the car like a normal hood or bumper would do, this thing will drive right through like pretty much anything.
I mean, it'll kill the animal, but I mean, if you hit an animal without a bumper, it's going to kill it.
It's going to kill it anyway. It's just also going to deploy your airbags and maybe ruin your
automobile. I don't know did you meet Jess and Mike from Van Dot there? They hit an elk.
Yeah,
and they totaled their vehicle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if you go to their Instagram.
Without an aluminum.
Nothing, right.
And just a regular stock.
Right, and they were driving at like 9 p.m. in the middle of, I want to say Idaho, I'm not exactly sure.
Wow.
But they hit I should say the elk hit them, because the elk ran in front of them. No time to react. Right. One hit the side door, and one hit the front end. Wow. And they totaled it. It was gone.
Gnarly.
And they were almost out of van life, and it just, you have to hear their story, but it was crazy, and like just reading in their story on Instagram is phenomenal. And if they had the bumper, and I've talked to Mike about this several times, they would have been fine.
They'd have been fine. Just driven away from it.
Yep. Well, I don't know about driven away from it, but yeah, they would have had a couple scratches. No big deal.
Right.
I mean, they may have picked up the elk to get some meat out of it, but because if you hit an animal,
cafe, you get to eat it.
You can take the meat.
Oh, wow.
In certain states.
I did not know that.
Yeah, in certain states, I think Idaho, you're definitely allowed to.
Not doing that.
Yeah, you're a vegan?
Vegetarian.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're not doing
Cheese
that.
is my favorite food, so.
Oh, fair
not
enough.
Not vegan.
Okay. Very good.
What about talk about comedy? Tell me about comedy. You're sort of on the back burner for a little bit because of this thing, right?
I am, but I'm also a type of person that when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So whether it's a day or a year, I'm going to get it done.
Yeah.
So my original goal when I built the van was to tour and do comedy, and only in Hollywood. Tour and do comedy. So I do want to like eventually just hit the road and just go from place to place and do comedy.
I mean, if you have a like mobile / passive revenue stream from YouTube, and you have a hotel on wheels, like that's a pretty sustainable way to like go do stand up and and stuff.
And I'm super
that's cool.
super excited about it.
That's what a weird synergy between those two like unusual pursuits, right?
Yeah, and the current van I have, my original Ghost, I call it the OG. The original Ghost is more of a 3-season van. Fall, summer, spring. My next van is going to be complete 4-season.
Yeah, you told me you're getting a heated floor in there.
Yeah, that's expensive. I'll plug my boy Troy from Vanlife Tech. He's putting that in, and also Wes from Tiny Watt Solar. I'm putting in pretty much Troy's system, and I can really handle that system because of Wes's Tiny Watt Solar. But it's radiant floor heat that's hooked up to the diesel fuel lines, and it only draws 65 watts of power.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so there's pictures of Wes, because he has it in his van, of the doors wide open in the middle of Colorado, like in the winter, snow flurries coming down, and he's like where we are. Door open, t-shirt,
just hanging out,
and his wife is out in the pasture taking pictures of him, freezing. But like, he sets it at like 85 degrees, and inside the van is like 70 something. You want to come up?
Come on, bud.
We saw somebody with heated floors, and I can't remember where we were.
I think that was that first Fiesta Island thing. So here's a question, and
well, there's a difference between electric. And then there's electric radiant floor heating, and then there's what I'm doing, which is like it's through the diesel fuel lines radiant floor heating.
I don't know which one it is, but I thought it was cool.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Cool idea, yeah.
Yeah.
That actually reminded me of a question, because the thing I didn't like about that van, one thing I love about this van, especially since this one is so small, is being able to open the barn doors. If I'm in a place where it's okay for us to like be hanging out or whatever, open the barn doors and I have all this natural light, and I can get in and out of the van, out the back, and all of that. And as I remember, I think the one that you're talking about, the whole back was blocked off. And I understand that that's like useful for if you want to have like a tall garage with like large things back there or something. But is your
was the Murphy bed van? That was Brandon's van.
Okay.
It had the big countertop.
Yeah,
it was the L bench.
Was that at the Fiesta Island thing in November?
That sounds correct.
It might have been November.
Because she was only at the November one.
So it wasn't the last one, it was the one before.
Yeah.
Right.
That he was there, yes.
Yeah.
That's when I did his tour, and then I sold it for him 2 weeks later.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh man, that son of a bee. I'm just kidding. I love Brandon. He's a good guy. But
so is your back gonna be blocked?
It's only going to be blocked by the bed. So when the bed is down,
you
it's
can
going to
open
it.
like, yeah, cool. Oh,
and so
like
if I'm in the middle of a secluded area and I want to sleep with my doors open, guess what? Now the bed is down and I have an open out the back.
Both ways. Yep. That's awesome.
I was going to have back windows, but now I'm not. They're completely cargo style.
Okay.
And I'm going to actually put in like bed lights in the back, or like when I do open them up, and I can have a table back there and things like that. So.
Cool.
And then what's going to go... When your bed folds down, what's going to go out in front of it between there and the...
It's actually going to look a lot like Brandon's, which I didn't mean to take, but there's really only like, when you look at large vans, there's like 4 layouts, and then it's just how you maneuver things.
Yeah.
So I have the, I guess the whole countertop is against the sliding door wall, and it's going to come over into the opening of the thing, and I'll have 24 inches to walk through. Right. And then that's going to be my entire countertop. My refrigerator is going to be there. All my drawers, everything, and then I'm going to have overhead cabinetry. And then in the back, there's going to be storage, floor-to-ceiling storage in the back. That's going to be the garage, I guess. Right. And then at the bottom of that is going to be where all my electrical is.
Yeah.
And then in the back is where the bed is as well. And the countertop's only going to be about 20 inches wide, maybe 22. The bed will be whatever it is.
The remainder.
Remainder, excuse me. And then I'm going to have an L bench at the bottom, just like Brandon's does. And then, I'm announcing this for the first time, the Murphy bed's going to come down because of the height of the van. It has to come down, and then it has to actually extend out like yours does.
Slide out.
It has to extend.
It's got slats in it.
Yeah, so I'll have to do that plus 12 inches.
What are you going to do for your mattress?
The mattress will be there,
Okay.
and then the slide out part of it will be the backrest of where the bed is sitting.
Okay.
So that'll be perfectly fit when it comes down.
Rad.
And then because of the curvature of the van, this is where the engineering gets tough. The curvature of the van, I'm gonna have it straight on this side, and when it comes down, the backrest is going to fill that cavity when it does come down.
Okay.
So it'll be completely one plane, and I think it's like 46 inches going across where it is. So it's a little tight, but I'm by myself. I don't care.
Right.
And I only want to date someone small, so
So it'll fit in your van.
so it'll fit.
Sorry, large lady.
Yeah, right. Or she.
Or men, or whatever.
No, I am straight. Nothing against that. I'm straight. Hey. Speaking of, so. Yeah,
we're closing the fucking door next time. Too many distractions in Hollywood.
I love it.
A crazy one, a cute one. A crazy one, a cute one.
We usually see crazies. We don't see the cutes. That's why you get excited when you do see a cute one. But we're also kind of creepy in a van. As long as like Colette's here, we're okay.
She does. She normalizes us.
She does.
Right?
It's like imagine two dudes in there. They're in their mid-30s.
Yeah. She was yesterday. She was like, so do I? Because this is her first time being on the podcast. It just hasn't worked out.
Sweet.
That she
Wasn't there for any of them.
And
Aw.
please
Gonna
speak
do
up
me
and talk
one
more.
day.
Yeah, she's getting interviewed soon.
Oh, good.
But it'll just be us bickering for 40 minutes.
After a couple of beers.
Nice.
You want a beer?
Dude, it's like what time in the... Oh, it's morning for me.
You want one?
Yeah. Can you
I'm
give
going
me
to
a
the
boomie?
gym after this.
Yeah.
If we're like, maybe
It's
if I do
my
a
day.
podcast, then I'll do it again.
I just opened a show. It's my day off.
Boom,
I'm
there
on
it is.
a vacation, kind of. I'm gonna drink a beer. Well,
I will
that
get
doesn't stop me on a work day either. But whatever.
I'll get hammered with you next time we do this.
Okay.
If I'm
Ooh.
invited back.
Deal. We'll see how it turns
We
out.
should. That could be a special from on the podcast or YouTube is getting drunk in the van.
There you go.
We need like a clever name. I haven't thought of it yet. But
We should like
I'll think about it.
like you love breweries. We should my accent
Oh, yeah.
sometimes. We love breweries. Go into a brewery, get wasted, and come back into a podcast.
Oh yeah. And that's one of the things. I think I told you this, but the whole van experience has really opened up a bunch of different opportunities that I didn't anticipate before. You know, like the whole because I love drinking and I'm adamantly against driving under any sort of influence.
Yeah,
right?
me too.
And so on a bicycle, I felt a lot less bad about riding around.
Although you can still get a DUI.
Well, fuck a DUI.
but you can only hurt yourself.
You can only hurt yourself, and that's what I'm
You're really
saying.
hurting
Like, I
That's
would not
true,
be able
actually.
to live with myself if I hurt somebody else. But if
That
I'm on a
is very
bicycle,
true.
I'm just taking my own life into my hands, you know? But what this has enabled us to do is to go to a little cluster of breweries and hang out there all night and stay in, like, right down the street, you know? And then you're sober in the morning and you go home.
I will say it's one of the reasons why I'm envious of your van, because it's like I pride myself in some stealth.
Yeah.
But you guys are like super stealth.
Shit is invisible, yeah.
Like we're parked on the street right now. That's like I can't fit in your spot right
Yeah.
now. There's no way. I'm parked a block away, but like it's crazy how well this thing is maneuverable around cities.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like when I toured your van, I walked away and I was like, damn, maybe I'm doing it wrong going high roof Sprinter. Let's just get a Metro.
That's the one we want. You want to trade?
Yeah,
have this
exactly.
guy,
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
take
trade
the
payments
Sprinter.
though.
Yeah, you go spend $80,000 on that. And then
Yeah.
We'll just trade
We'll
vans.
just flip you.
It'll be even, right?
Even swap.
Let's see. I'll just give you guys a breakdown of what it's going to cost me. I'm financing some of the build costs through the dealership, so my financing is going to be around 60 to 65,
Yeah.
and then I'm putting another 15 cash into it. So it's what are we talking?
I guess
80 grand.
just right.
Yeah, 80 grand. Yeah. So it's gonna be an $80,000 van when it's all said and done. But it's gonna, like you said, it's gonna be a condo on wheels.
But the other crazy thing is, like, that sounds $80,000 sounds like a lot of money, but when you look at what all of the professional builds that people don't have like hookups and friends helping them out, and you're not building. You're going to build a decent amount of this yourself, right?
Not building the entire. Well,
pretty much all of it. But like the solar, you're getting help with, and some of the other things. But like, still $80,000 for what you're going to end up with is really inexpensive.
Yeah, it is, and and plus I get to go wherever the hell I want.
Yeah,
you know, it's like you can too. You know, obviously you as well, but. Like, it's amazing the opportunities that we have presented ourselves in this van life. And it's so funny. People are like, oh, you're homeless. No, we're not.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
You just have a different kind of home.
Right.
It's a choice, too. Like, I could go fucking get an apartment and live somewhere in Hollywood and pay $1,200 a month. Or I'll even lowball it at $1,000 a month. Which is bull.
You're sharing a room.
Yeah. We'll say, let's say the three of us are sharing a 2-bedroom, pretty much, and we're all paying $1,000 a month, which is pretty much what it would be.
Where you're at.
And it's like, let's say 1,000 times 12. That's $12,000. Where is that going at the end of the year?
Right. Yeah.
It's going into the landlord's fucking pocket. I'm I'm swearing, so I'm getting passionate about it. And it really pisses me off. Like, that's where I was when I got into van life. I was just like, yo, who the fuck is getting this money?
Yeah. When you think about what is $80,000, and I've been paying for years and years. I've been paying at least $1,200 or $1,500 a month.
Exactly.
To live in, and you add that up over the course of 14 years or whatever. It's like,
there's your $80,000. I don't know what it is. I can't do the math that quickly. I think Colette's doing it for
Colette's doing the math.
14 years, you want to know?
Let's do $1,100 for 14 years.
That's a good medium. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Because 14 years ago,
it was like a little bit cheaper. Yeah, I remember, like, I lived in Vegas. I will say Vegas was dirt cheap. I lived in a 3-bedroom house with 2 girls. I was dating one of them, but I lived in a 3-bedroom house, and we were paying $1,300.
Wow.
So it was like $4 something each a month.
Was that a while ago, though?
2006 and 7. 2006 and 7.
$184,800.
Jesus. I could have had that giant that brown land yacht.
Yeah,
at that point.
now if people want to look up like a company that costs a lot, ADF Sprinters is a huge company.
Yeah. And they look great. It's just like a lot.
It is, but you're definitely getting what you're paying for.
It's fun to do it yourself, though.
Yeah, not when you're doing it.
Yeah, well, I had a good time.
No, I did too. I did too.
I had enjoyed watching
You want to send a photo of this joint to your dad?
Yeah, right. No, I'm good. He'll scream at you.
How do you feel about this, dude?
It's actually not bad. It's definitely not the worst I've seen.
Oh yeah, we got a little misfire right here.
Oh, that's okay.
That's the worst one.
Honestly,
that's really the worst
we
one.
all have it though. It's like the people that only know it are us, you know. And I can't wait to get a van dog. Like,
did you do comedy in Boston?
No.
Because you're from Boston, and I'm so fascinated with all these old school stories about like Barry Crimmins and Stephen Wright and all these old Boston guys.
I thought you were going to go like Joe Rogan and Bill Burr, but you went before that.
Those guys are great, right? Those guys are great too, and they're super relevant right now, but I'm so interested in how steeped that scene is in history.
Jerry Seinfeld said it once that like there's like a comedy row of pretty much, and it's like Boston, Philly, and like Chicago. It's like the whole like northeast area. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just that we're inside and cold all the time and just depressing. I don't know. But it's a lot of comedies come out of that, you know, and it's, I don't know.
You have seasonal affective disorder. And
is that a thing?
Overcrowded area,
really?
and you're just sitting there muttering to yourself all the time, and every once in a while something funny comes out, so you write it down.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I actually
5 years later, you're a professional
crying,
comedian.
and then one giggle.
I'll go with that. That sounds pretty good.
I mean, I think that's why the grunge and alternative scene, Nirvana and all those guys, that's why all that great music came out of the Pacific Northwest, is because it rains, and Iceland.
That's a good point.
There's so much good Icelandic music. And it's because it's like eight months out of the year you're cooped up with nothing but an instrument in your hand, you know?
It's a solid point. Like out here, we just a bunch of bums and lazy.
Yeah, it's like, I could do something, or I could go for a little walk outside because it's nice.
I could hike up Runyon Canyon. Oh man, don't even get me started with that. But no, it's like, you know, I actually a girl I graduated from high school with. She's killing it right now in the comedy scene.
Oh really? What's her name?
Erica Rhodes.
Okay.
She's an absolute sweetheart. She's got a great voice, and her comedy is just like superb. She's actually lives here in Hollywood.
Okay.
And she's touring. She's just killing it, the comedy scene, and I'm super jealous. But she's been at it for God knows how long, you know.
Right.
And she's just, you know, another Bostonian that just killing it.
Yeah.
And you know, where are you from again? You're from the Northeast.
South Carolina.
Well, you're South Carolina. You're from the East Coast. I also think that we're raised differently on the East Coast.
Oh, definitely.
Than it is West Coast. We actually had a discussion about this, didn't we?
Yeah, you went on like a 5-minute rant about how much you hate Los Angeles.
I don't hate Los Angeles. I actually love the city itself, and I love the natives of LA. It's the transient that think they're hot shit when they come here, and it's like, no, you're really cold piss. But like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, me too. I had the same effect when I moved here. I thought I was going to be huge in 2 years, and it's like, and then reality sets in, and you're like, yo, you got to put the fucking work in.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just now realizing this.
Just like anything.
All resets after 30.
I think it's like a
All the cameras do it.
taxation thing. It's an international taxation thing, is what I've heard.
The new Sonys don't.
The new Sonys don't, but they're traded as video cameras. And like if you get the Lumix GH5 or the GH4, those will shoot indefinitely too.
That's why that can go longer.
Yeah, because it's a video camera.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the deal is. Colette, what are you thinking about over there? You've been quiet.
Feeling good. I'm
You
just
had
listening.
one of the funniest pictures I've ever seen that Marty reposted of your jumpsuit.
The struggle.
Yeah,
being
the struggle
I love a
is
jumpsuit.
real.
I'm a jumpsuit lady because I don't like dresses, and I like that it's all just one
You want this?
outfit
Yeah, you want this
in
one?
one.
Sure, yeah, you got another one?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, we have the reason that we have two views is so that we can. Oh, you got the new one.
Oh, not really. It's just the GoPro. Oh, hopefully that's not on time lapse. I don't think it is.
Oh, this is the same as ours. Oh, that'd be cool. A little time lapse. Oh, no, those are the same.
Probably the same.
Same
Hero 4?
machines, yeah.
Yeah, the same machines.
Same machines.
So you're a jump suit girl.
peeing in a jumpsuit, especially when you like drinking a lot of beer, is a task.
I can imagine. I mean, I don't
Real
know.
task.
It's like a sobriety
It's
test.
just like you're sitting in a public restroom like naked, and you're like, okay.
I
Put
mean,
my shirt back on.
when I go to the bathroom, I strip down naked anyways, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
kind of cool to do.
Yeah, you just take it off, hanging on the hook.
Imagine, dude. Imagine if we just bare everything.
They had porta potties at the van life event, and I went to go take a shit yesterday morning, and all of them were full, and outside of one of them was just a pile of clothes with a ghost van hat on top of it.
You caught me. You caught me.
You stripped before you even went in there.
Not so ghostly, are you?
Yeah, no, not so ghostly. That was good. Yeah, thanks for outing me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm hoping people actually think that's a joke. They're like, wait a minute, this dude strips down before he takes a shit? Really?
100%.
That's a great. I haven't asked anybody this yet, but
Okay.
like, you're living in one of the craziest cities in the United States,
Yeah.
and you're doing the same thing that we are, like
Yep.
full time in the van. You go and you do your business at 24 shower shitness.
Yep.
Right. And
Sometimes, yeah.
I see.
I can give you all my spots if you want.
I see. Well, but you shower there primarily, right?
Primarily, I do have a shower in my van, though.
Oh, do you use it?
I've used it under 12 times, I'll say that. Yeah. In the 2 years.
Yeah.
So
Like
however
a
many days
quick
that is,
shower.
700 days, whatever it is,
Right.
and I've used it 12 times. So
Yeah.
is that less than 1%? Yeah.
I think
Right.
was one of our first trips to LA in the van. We didn't have the gym memberships yet, and we went to, it was like 10 a.m. and we went to this bougie ass restaurant downtown. Where were we downtown?
Mm-hmm.
And each got a beer and took turns to use the bathroom so we could go take a shit. And it was the most gorgeous bathrooms. They were freshly clean, like
Oh,
still
yeah.
bubbles in the toilet.
See, Jared,
And we
that's
were
the
like-
benefit of drinking a beer at 10 a.m.
Like, see? There's always a reason.
Freshly clean toilet.
Freshly clean toilets.
Oh,
It's
but
a very
so
luxurious experience.
they're nuts in our neighborhood, and they're even crazier here. Like, do you see all sorts of batshit wild people in the gym?
In the gym, yeah. And I actually went to the Hollywood 24 for almost about a year.
Yeah.
And then I cannot take Hollywood anymore. And I was like, I've lived here. I've had 3 separate apartments in Hollywood. I lived in my van in Hollywood for a year. I was like, I gotta go. And my buddy lived up, I'm not gonna say where I kind of park my van now. Although I'm only there for another month. But I moved up into the deep valley, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I love it. Like,
do?
I love
Suburbia.
it up there. Suburbia. Well, I'm also from suburbia. I'm
Yeah.
from the outskirts of Boston, so like that felt very home to me.
Uh-huh.
I felt very comfortable. I was very depressed and mopey here.
Really?
That also had to do with work. I was working down here. So, you know, when you get to a point where you're like, I get to start traveling a little bit more and enjoying life a little bit more, and you go out to the suburbs, it's like a different life. And yeah, like I just like started to despise Hollywood. Maybe because I was getting older.
Yeah.
I started to become a grumpy old man. But yeah, man, I had, because I'm so stealth, right?
Yeah.
Not only did I park in front of a police station for 7 months, yeah, right there on Wilcox.
Yeah, like Cole or whatever it is.
No, right on, like in
on
front of it.
Wilcox.
Yeah, right on.
Okay.
Yeah, right where.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was a club a block away, and I constantly had guys pissing on my bumper. Constantly, and I was just like,
Good.
and I had back windows, and that's
so
where my
you could
bed
see.
is, and I'd like just poke my head out, and I could see it, and sometimes I'd hit my key, and like the flashers would go off, and they'd be, you know, get a little scared, but yeah, I'd look at my window and penis right there, and I'm like,
That
awesome.
sounds nice.
Yeah, for some, sure, but I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that's it for that one. This one's still running. See, man, we got so many cameras in here.
We do.
We need a camera to take a picture of all these cameras with.
we all have phones, I'm sure. Oh, shizzle.
They didn't hit us.
Van lifers.
That was a interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a bunch of stripes of van lifing happening in Los Angeles.
The classes of van life.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I want to say you and I are more on the luxurious side.
Oh, definitely.
I guess you could say I'm a step up from you, but
Yeah, you could stand up.
yeah,
You're
legitimately
literally
a step up. Yeah.
Rinse that out.
Cop
Drove 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
Put his head in the window.
Oh, he
Did he really?
Yeah.
This one right here? No.
No. That's fun.
Dude, that'd be awesome. I'd love to have a cop come by right now. They're usually pretty cool.
I
They're
live,
cool
I'm
with
the one
me.
drinking a beer.
I'm super curious to see what ends up happening with the whole the van life app and like
Oh man.
trying to balance like incorporating and including people, but also
Keeping out people.
I don't know. I've been thinking super hard since we talked about all of that the other day at the event, and I'm sort of like
Were you at that little
the community forum.
You at the community forum?
Yeah.
I didn't go to any forums, unfortunately, and I was really interested to like kind of hear your take because you're a big advocate of all of that. So
Yeah, well, you know, we have this cultural proximity to homeless people
we do.
because there are some people whose best option is to live in a vehicle that they have.
All right.
Right? And we have this cultural proximity to them because we're in the same space in certain circumstances, violating the same ordinances and that sort of thing. And so there's this kind of solidarity, but you also would never want to suggest that you can really empathize with those people because like you said, we come from places, I mean, I'm not sure what your background is, but we are currently in places of considerable privilege.
Yeah.
We're living in vehicles, but like we've got all the amenities of modern life, you
We
know,
do.
and revenue streams, jobs, and all of that stuff. And so it's like it's a weird thing because there's this impulse to distinguish ourselves from those people,
Yeah.
but doing that just marginalizes them even further. You know what I mean? And the
Yeah.
last thing I want to do
Is do that.
is be like, oh, it's not me, it's them. You know what I mean? For the people who actually need the help of the legal system. You
That
know what
is
I mean?
true, you're right.
And variances from these onerous like laws. So I don't know. I'm afraid that there's going to be a little bit of confusion and conflict in the van life community about that specific issue and how to deal with it.
There might, you know what? You bring up some really good points because like there really might be you know, you've experienced it, you know, that there's like we just said it, there's different classes of van life.
Oh, sure.
And the ones that are like right there on the verge of being homeless and I would love for them to take advantages of the opportunities that that communities will provide for them. I personally don't like taking free stuff.
Yeah.
You know, from certain areas, just only because I can afford it. So I don't like to be like, oh, I need to, whatever, take this or do that or
What do
whatever.
you mean? specifically?
What's
an example you're talking about?
Like I know a lot of van lifers will try to cut back on costs on a lot of things, and they just there's no cheating the system. We're technically cheating the system, but like I'm trying to think. Like I actually think water should be free. For us to like, I fill up my water at gas stations mostly, and then it's filtered through my filter system. And it's really disturbing sometimes when I go to gas stations. I'm like, I seriously have to pay $1.50 for this water,
Right.
and then I only get it for 3 minutes, and that does not fill up my tank.
Yeah.
It's like I go to a Glacier station and I have to pay whatever it is for 5 gallons of water. It's like $1, but still,
Yeah.
it's like some people can't even afford water.
Right.
So let's maybe have some. If I had the money, I would do it in a heartbeat, and make like a, even a small knit community of where van lifers can, have dump stations or certain things like that. But I don't know what the van life app is going to do.
Yeah.
Because this isn't slowing down.
Yeah.
This whole community is not slowing
Sure.
down. It's getting larger and larger. You should see some of the comments on my YouTube. Like, it's crazy. They're like, I can't wait to get into this, and it's not a trend, It's not like it's some of it is necessity,
Right.
And it's like, you and I don't want to pay rent, so and a lot of people are like that too. And then there's also obviously a large amount of people that like the security of that, so they want to do that sort of thing. And that's fine. I'm not going to hate on that. So.
Got people that crave the minimalist or lifestyle or the traveling lifestyle.
Yeah.
They can do it all in one thing.
I love it, but I'm really curious to see what the fuck happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm scared.
I'm a little scared too.
I'm scared because we're gonna have a lot more people like the San Diego mayor that's gonna stand up and say, nope, you guys are all out.
Right. I read a bunch about that last night, and I feel like he's not really. I don't know how they're gonna. After I read about what the federal judge said, I'm not sure that they're gonna be able to craft an ordinance that's
won't.
not going to be unconstitutionally vague in the same way that the old one was. And so I'm curious to see what the city does. The deal is, you've got all of these property owners, and they're frustrated with people parking their vehicles out in front of their homes on public property.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
But it's like, why are you allowed to leave your car there overnight, and I can't leave my car over there overnight and stay in it?
And not only that, they own what, 4 cars?
Yeah.
And it's like they own more than one car, and it's like, if you can't fit your cars in the driveway, you have to use the street. Like, isn't that an issue?
Yeah.
Like, we're the ones not leaving the carbon footprint.
We're subsidizing your excess.
Yeah.
Is what we're doing.
I get it. Like, you're
subsidizing your luxury.
Anybody.
We're not.
Yeah.
And I get from where they're coming from, sort of, because they're like, listen, I pay X amount of dollars for this property, even though it's government owned anyways. But anyway, we're not going to get into that.
I had that argument with my dad a little while ago. That was intense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, do you really ever own your own home? Like,
No.
You're paying property taxes until you die, dude.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I think they should be higher.
Yeah. Whoa. I wasn't going to go there. And that's why, like, if I ever did settle down somewhere, I wouldn't even own land. I'd buy a condo.
Yeah.
But and I don't even know where the hell that would be. But I'm thinking Vegas, by the way.
I love Vegas.
I do too.
He did not like Vegas.
Really?
We went for
It's a good comedy scene.
We went for my birthday, and within like 3 hours of being there, Marty got so overstimulated. We were just walking around the strip. He got to drink a beer in the street.
Which
I got
was
one
awesome.
of those.
Yeah.
I love those the Fat Tuesdays. They're really big daiquiris.
Hell
Like, it's
yeah.
my like Vegas treat that I let myself have. So I'm drinking one of those, and he's drinking a beer. And we're just walking around, and we were in the Miracle Mile shops, and he's like, it's so dark in here. I'm starting to get depressed. It looks like the sky. It's at night, and I have to get out of here. And I'm like, okay. And by the time we got to Fremont Street, he was just so overstimulated. It was too much for him.
I actually don't like
So-
Fremont Street, believe it or not.
I think it's
so
hilarious.
I'm with you on that one.
I wanted him to see the light show, and there's a cool
Yeah.
brewery there, and we
Yeah.
love breweries. So.
I would have loved Fremont Street a lot more if I hadn't had so much Vegas that day already. But
Yeah.
what happened is, I kept walking past people who were just like,
He's like, everyone looks sad
they
inside.
just look zombies, dude. Like sad zombies who like came and did what they were told they were supposed to do in Vegas, and they're just like empty shells of people.
All
They
right,
were
well, you
probably
guys-
hungover.
Yeah,
That's
that
what I
too.
look like when I'm hungover.
First of all, you should have went to the
Empty shell of a
topless pool.
person.
That would have made a world of difference. There's a topless pool at
It
the
was
Mandalay Bay.
very cold.
Oh, okay.
I've been there though.
You have you?
I have.
Oh, nice.
I've been to all the pools.
I've been topless at the topless pool. That's not much to see.
Guys just have it so easy.
Yeah.
Topless
I would've
wherever
gone-
you want.
I would have gone bottoms out, but they weren't down with that.
That's my kind of beach.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think it's not that you did Vegas wrong. Obviously, there is no wrong Vegas, quote unquote. But I think if you lived there and you were off the strip, you would thoroughly enjoy yourself.
Yeah, my dad and my stepmom live, they have a house off of Durango and Blue Diamond in
Hell
that
yeah.
area.
Yeah.
And they love it, but they're big Texas Hold'em players. But they don't
There you
club, they don't go to strip clubs, they don't.
Why? No, I'm just kidding.
They don't. They
See,
just
I'm
go
just
and they
not
play
into any
Texas
of
Hold'em.
those
But
scenes.
you
They
like
love it.
things that are 24 hours. Literally everything there is 24
Yeah.
hours. Like I used to go food shopping at like 4 in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
I used to get off of work and it'd be like I didn't go out and party. I'd just go food shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There would be like
Love
nights that I'd get off at like 2, 3 in the morning, and I'd go out drinking with my friends at a local bar, and I'd be there until 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that is
you know,
cool.
just kicking it.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
cool.
like, when you're a local there, it's completely different than being a tourist.
Oh,
I will
for
say
sure.
though that probably my favorite boondocking experience since the van
Yeah,
was we went out to Red Rock.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
this was the best
What's
part
the
of the
name?
trip.
We probably shouldn't even
Not-
put this in the podcast,
Okay,
but
let's not say it then.
we found a place on BLM land.
Yeah, do not say this, but I want to know the coordinates.
Yeah, I'll tell you where it is.
We'll let you know.
But we found this place on BLM land where we had service, and I've got an unlimited tethering plan on
Yeah,
my phone.
hell yeah.
And so we filled the fridge up with beer, and we hiked like all day over at Calico at Red Rock, which
Yeah.
is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then we found this
it was
spot.
the coolest hike
where
I've
we
ever
parked.
done.
Really?
Red
And
it
Rock
was
Canyon
the
is amazing.
prettiest place we've ever parked.
Yeah.
And when it got dark, we ate an edible, got drunk, and watched Mary Poppins in the back of
And
the
it was
van.
because it was raining like
was
crazy
raining,
too.
which is my favorite thing in the van.
Oh, in the
like,
van?
white noise.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
We love it, and it was raining really hard, and we were just hanging out. And
This
we
must
made,
have been recent.
We made
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is in
February.
beginning of February.
Yeah.
We made
they have a
like
monsoon
we made
season.
some food in the back inside the van, and we put Mary Poppins on, and we had gone to a
my favorite
dispensary, and we
Is
had,
it really?
Very-
The
very
remake
favorite
or the
movie,
original?
the old one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just saw the
weird.
remake. It's not
remake
a
is
remake.
awesome.
It's
I've heard it
it's
is.
like
The new
a
one?
sequel more
Yeah.
than a remake.
I heard
We've seen it a
it
couple
won an
times.
Oscar, I think, for something. I don't know what it won an Oscar for.
I didn't even
Maybe
pay attention
song
to those
or
awards.
I don't
Something
know,
along
like
those lines. I
original
want to
song.
say
I
it's.
have no idea. I didn't
It was
watch
definitely
it this year.
nominated, but man, I heard it was
It was
really
great.
good.
Dude, it kept
Yeah.
pace. I
Yeah.
thought it was.
We really
I thought it
enjoyed
was
it.
as good as the original.
That's crazy.
Of course, the original is always going to have this like sentimental place in my heart.
And
but,
Julie
like,
Andrews.
yeah, but the
the
new one is
queen.
amazing.
That's funny. I want to. You have to tell me where that spot is
Yeah.
because
It-
when I start traveling, it's gonna be.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be that kind
I'll
of
show
stuff.
you. It was wow, man.
Why haven't you done much traveling?
Financial difficulty. I'm in a lot of debt, just like
Sure.
every other Joe
Like
Schmo out there.
everybody.
Yeah. I got school debt. I pay X amount of dollars a month. I have credit card debt that I put on towards the van. Now I would say it's a little bit more under control than it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have my van payment, that I still pay.
Right.
That was, and here's the thing. It's like, yeah, you have your van payment, you have your insurance for your van, and it's still half the price of what a rent would be.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. But
Yeah. And in 4 or 5 years, you'll own it outright.
yeah, well, mine, I'll technically own it outright when I pay it off when she gives me the rest of my money.
Sure, but then you have to buy a more expensive one.
Yeah, then I'm going way too hardcore. But the next one I'll own in whatever it is, 6 years. I think I'm taking a loan out for. So financial difficulties, work. Definitely not a flexible job. Now I am literally just now getting to the point where, okay, I'm like 80% of my income is done through YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm almost there. I have, for anybody that's watching this, I guess, I have an apparel that I'm working on selling on my website. Hopefully, one day in my near future, I will be able to book myself as a comedian. So I'll have multiple streams of income. I don't know, maybe I'll do a podcast, which I doubt I will, because I just have too much going on. But yeah, that's really, like, financial difficulty is so, and you know that. Like,
Yeah, sure.
and I still work at a hotel, 2 days a week until I sell this van. So finances is hard, man.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Well, and driving long distances
Sure
is
is.
fucking expensive. The other thing that we've been fantasizing about is getting like a completely remote sort of revenue stream so that we can travel. Because I realized when I drove back to South Carolina from California and then back in 3 weeks, I drove probably 64 to 7,000 miles
Yep.
in 3 weeks. Whereas if I were working from the van,
Yep.
and I drove all the way around North America for 7 or 8 months, I would do that, and it'd only be like 10 or 11,000 miles, right? Because you're not going out and back like that.
Yep.
Every trip I've done has been like boom, boom, and so I'm doubling my mileage.
Yep.
Whereas if I could have gotten there and continued to go somewhere else,
Yep.
I'd have gotten a lot more bang for my gas mileage. you know?
Absolutely, and I couldn't agree with you more. And it's like, the remote work is actually extremely difficult. You know, and I did one video on this, and I can't wait to do another. It's not easy finding a remote job.
Yeah.
Or I should say, it's not easy finding a remote job that pays well.
Right.
And it's funny. Did you talk to the people at the meetup that were like, they all had remote jobs?
Yeah, pretty much everybody is
And
like,
I'm like, damn.
marketing or web design or something like that.
But they still work 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Teach me.
Well, a lot of them will actually have a job, and then they will be like, "Oh, I'm going into van life and I'm traveling," and then their cool companies will be like, "Cool, go ahead."
Yeah.
Some. You know, the girl that was parked across from me, she's about to get let go from her job because of the van life.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then you had the blonde that was parked 2 in front of me. She works for like a van company called GoVan, and it's only 2 employees. It's her and the owner of the company.
Yeah.
So it's like, a job like that is perfect.
Right.
But she was telling me, she's like, "Yo, I put in 50 hours a week. I work my butt off." And I'm like, "Cool. Hey, Spin.
You getting a little protection?
We're getting a visitor from a doggy."
What a cutie.
All right. Well, is there anything else we missed? What else is there?
What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
What? Life, van, today.
You know,
like,
I will
that's a
say,
really
in Los Angeles, in regards to like, we're kind of on the financial train right now. I feel, maybe you can piggyback on this. I feel like having these hospitality type jobs, it seriously drowns you.
Oh my god, dude.
And like, because I was just driving past my last job, one of my last jobs, and I feel like everybody's still there, and I feel like it's a dead end where they're all striving to do something, yet nobody's doing anything about it.
Dude.
The van life opened up my eyes to that, to be like, yo, what the fuck are everybody else doing? I need to do this. I've been wanting to do this for 10 years, and I'm just now doing it.
You've just been treading to try to keep your head above water.
And that's all it is.
So, I don't even know if I told you this, but when I moved here to LA in 2013, I had some contacts through my landlord in Encinitas. Their sons are club promoters here in like high-end bottle service nightclubs, and so they got me at 33 years old, and I'd been a licensed attorney in the state of California for 6 or 7 years at this
I
point.
didn't know he was an attorney.
I'm bussing tables in high-end bottle service nightclubs, and I went through a few of them, and they were punitive, terrible jobs, and I found one finally where I was working 3 nights a week, and I was bringing home like $4 to $6 grand a month, like most of it in cash. That was a joke. The IRS. I'm a comedian. And
That's life.
so, but like I was making money at this job.
Yeah.
But I fucking hated it, and everybody treated me like a scumbag, right? And I was like humping broken glass and like covered in liquor all night, and I was drinking my face off to cope with the annoyance, right?
Yeah.
And
Been there.
it was the same sort of thing. Like I was improvising, but I wasn't auditioning. I didn't have current headshots, and I was in that exact same thing, and it fucking wore me down over the course of 2 years, even though there's $300 in my pocket at all times. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, Los Angeles is, you have to come here with some sort of either a trick because you know a bunch of people and you're connected, or you have to
Even that
have
doesn't help, though.
a tremendous amount of work ethic.
Yeah.
But it's really easy to get trapped in this town. And actually, so
But they hit the mirror.
I'm gonna go check.
That scared the piss out of me. And they're at least stopping, which is
we just
nice.
got in our first wreck parked in Hollywood, West
No,
Hollywood.
they hit the mirror. Holy shit.
And we've sent the most responsible one of us, who's already had a beer today, out to go take care of him.
Well, she's also the prettiest one, so I'll give her that.
It's just the mirror, and it looks totally fine.
Wow. That was interesting.
My
I hope
buddy-
you guys heard that bang.
But we're gonna be cool about it. We're good,
She
yeah?
was very sweet.
Oh, what a
There's
sweetheart.
nothing on it.
She
She was
stopped.
like,
That was so nice.
she was
Yeah.
like, I'm so
That was very
sorry. She's
un-Los
like,
Angeles.
I really didn't need it, and I was like, it looks fine. I
totally
was like,
fine.
you just hit the mirror. I'm
We
like,
were just
everything looks okay.
shitting on Los Angelinos, and like she like still super nice about it.
We found
We're
the nice one.
Yeah, we did.
She's like, I'm really late to pick up a kid. I'm so sorry. I'm like, no. She's like, I
That's
really
more like Los
appreciate this. She's like, I really appreciate it. And I'm like, dude, you're fine. I was like, everything looks great. Just go ahead.
I think
It wasn't a Bentley, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we couldn't have gotten too much money out of it anyway.
Fiat or something.
Yeah, it was a Kia Soul, I think.
So my buddy
No,
Teddy,
she was real sweet.
my buddy Teddy White, who's 62 years old. He's from right outside of Atlanta. He was like the third episode of the podcast, which still isn't on the internet yet, but it will be in a couple of days. He actually said to me, he was like, he's a piano guy, and he busks in Encinitas. He's basically retired. He lives in a like 90s Dodge van, and he's got like this mobile tricycle piano setup where he goes
That's
and
dope.
busks out in front of the taco stand in Encinitas. And he told me, he was like, man, I feel like he's such an like irie, like meditation guru sort of dude.
Yeah.
But he sounds like an old white trash like southerner. You know what I
Nice.
mean? But he's so actualized and just a beautiful person. But anyway, he said when I moved into the van, it changed my attitude towards my productivity, because when I was living in an apartment in Florida, I would just sit around and watch TV, because that's
Yeah.
what you do when you have a house.
Sadly,
right?
I do that in my van. I do have a TV in my van.
Yeah,
but
well,
I do.
he says he spends a lot of time on YouTube watching stuff, but being in the van has motivated him to play more music.
Yeah.
He sits back there, and I hear him. I walk past his, because we park in the same like day use parking lot most of the time. I walk past his van, and he's playing. He plays out for 2 hours a day, but he plays for probably 6 or 7 hours a day.
It's funny, the most, I would say, successful, in quotations, year that I had was 2018. I didn't make the most money,
Right.
but in regards to what I'm trying to do in life,
It's feeding you.
it's, oh my God,
Yeah.
and my buddy AJ is also an actor, and he's like, dude, you're killing it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm really not. I'm not making a bunch of money,
Yeah.
but I do what I love
Yeah,
to do.
yeah.
And you know this because you're doing what you love to do. And now you've lived in a van and you just booked a thing, like a theater gig, like that's amazing. So it's like, and it's like your first pay. Like,
Yeah, I used to be a paid choreographer, but it's my first through a professional theater company.
you see what I'm saying? And it's like, we're out here, grinding, and like, you live in the van. So it's like,
I
yeah,
love
you know
it.
what? We're actually doing shit, man.
Yeah, dude.
I love it.
Spin's not right now.
It's
but
a really
Spin's
great thing
chill.
as an artist too. Like what attracts me to it the most about being a theater person is that I don't want to just do theater in one spot. Like to go and do it in all kinds of in Chicago or New York and here and there and wherever.
Yeah.
And the beauty of the van allows you to go where you need to go, and then you can go to the next town and you get to make connections and have experiences all over the place instead of just kind of getting stationary and working your ass off in one place.
Right.
The world is too big for that.
By the way, I'm going to try and relocate to where you are.
Encinitas?
With my new van.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
I didn't
dude.
know if you were going to say it on.
No, it's a wonderful place, dude.
Yeah, I can't wait. Like, my brother lives in Escondido, so.
Oh, I don't know if I told you
okay.
this, but I was recently appointed to the
Yeah, you told me.
Traffic and Public Safety.
Boy, yeah, I love it. I can't
Commissioner.
wait. I guess.
Commissioner over here.
It's
Are you really a commissioner?
It's
now?
hilarious.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
a
You
yeah.
get paid for it?
No, it's a volunteer gig.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
But
Good.
I was unanimously approved by a city council.
Unanimously approved.
The majority of whom know that I live in a van.
That's
You know what I mean?
amazing.
I don't think it's super wide public knowledge in town.
Right.
But I'm also not like a locally. It's like a small position. you
Right.
know, so it's
Bree
like I'm
was
not
super impressed with you.
Yeah. I'm really excited to interview her
There
because
he is in his
you know.
podium.
Oh,
Stop it.
He looks so like, he
Isn't he
looks
so
like
cute?
a congressman there. Like,
Oh,
yeah, I want you to maybe, get Bree and Lacey on here.
Oh, I'm
Or
definitely
Bree.
doing
Bree's like, Bree's very shy,
Mm-hmm.
but like when she starts speaking, you listen.
Yeah.
And I interviewed her during my live stream at the event, and I interviewed her and Jess during the vlog, and I'm like, yo, you need to talk more, and because she's really freaking knowledgeable.
is that the ladies' van?
Yeah,
Yeah.
one
Bree
of
and
the two.
Lacey are the ladies' van. Bree actually, I didn't know this until the other day, but she used to be a professor
Yeah, you
Yeah.
were telling me that.
specifically focusing in like marginalized and stigmatized communities and stuff. And
I did a tour of their. I did a tour of their van, and I did 2 tours of their shops. They had 2 shops.
Yeah.
I did a tour of their San Diego shop, which is no longer there, and I did a tour of their Los Angeles shop.
which is down in the Arts District,
Oh,
sort of,
it's
or like
so gorgeous.
Chinatownish, right?
Yeah, Little Tokyo, I want to say.
Oh, okay, so Arts District.
Yeah. It's like just north of the Little Tokyo, which is super cool.
Okay.
There's like a nice lot. It's badass, dude.
Cool.
Like, you'd love it.
Yeah, I met their parents this weekend. and
Super
stuff. That
cool,
was super
right?
cool,
Like
yeah.
they're right up your alley.
Yeah.
Like I could see Mark, which is Lacey's dad. I could see Mark being like your dad. Like,
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's just like this chain smoking, gritty guy that's just super cool. Like
That actually doesn't describe my dad very well. but you know,
I could just like you
I
guys
see what
both
you're
are
saying.
silver foxish, you know. So
Are a silver fox,
Oh,
babe.
fuck.
hey,
That's a good thing.
I'll put this out there to public, everybody. I dye my hair. I dye my shit like twice a week.
Do you?
Yeah, dude. Like I got serious gray here. I'm bald, obviously.
Yeah.
I get gray here. I get it all in the back there.
That's funny.
Yeah, I just dyed it right before the meetup. So, I'm gray. I'm worse than you.
I really don't care. My
I like it. I don't let
nobody in my
anybody
family, I don't think, has
I
ever.
gotta find somebody like this. This is tough.
This is how you do it, though. You just be an asshole, man, and the women who
Be
can
an
tolerate
asshole, you be yourself.
your specific
That's not
flavor
asshole.
of asshole.
Me, but like
Why an
that's why I kind of
asshole?
want to go to Encinitas. You guys met in Encinitas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the bar I used to work at.
Yeah, see, Encinitas and San Diego, cool motherfuckers. Like, up here, you can't meet someone like Colette. I'm sorry. Like, there's so much judgment here, I want to say.
Yeah. If Colette were in LA, she would not probably put herself out the way that she
You don't think?
does in Encinitas. Well, no, it's just there's so much
I love
like
how we're talking about it while she's right here.
well, there's in Los
Right?
Angeles. I
I'll
feel like
answer
there's
this
so
question.
much like hyper forward like machismo and like toxic masculinity in town, and there's so much catty insecurity on both sides of the
both
gender
sides.
spectrum.
Yeah.
I've lived in Manhattan, I've lived in London, I've lived in San
Really?
Diego, and I am me all the time.
Good for you, bud.
I love it.
Like that's
I love it.
I don't I've long
But you
time
don't
ago
pass
I was
judgments.
like fuck what anybody else thinks. Fuck whatever they're doing, they can do whatever they want, and I'm just gonna do my thing and see what happens.
But you see,
I can't be bothered to do anything else. It's too much work.
you've seen mostly in Los Angeles, not so much Manhattan or London, that a lot of the pretty girls will pass judgments on like
Oh,
a guy
yeah.
like me that's balding and overweight.
They
You know.
really pass judgments on each other. you
Oh,
know.
that's
Everybody
it, yeah.
That's the
does
worst.
that.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true. So it's
The
just
goal
like
is you start to learn like I know who I am, and you can do your thing, and who cares?
Yeah.
You can't
the van life.
worry about each other too much.
Right. And honestly, the van life community has really opened up my eyes to how like inviting they are to others.
Yeah, it's a
And,
really open community.
The community, I just maybe because of the friendships and just the open, like nobody's mean to anybody.
Yeah.
Did you see anybody mean to
did
somebody?
not.
You know, everybody's so
did not.
you know
That's how
caring
it needs to
about
be.
one another. And
The one thing I did hear was some woman was like, we were hanging out in the van, and then this creep showed up, and he like wouldn't leave.
she's also, I know who you're talking about. She's also literally 4 weeks into van life.
Oh, okay.
So she is a little new, but
And being a woman is a little different.
And there was a
She's
guy that
a
weirded
solo
me out
woman.
there
I mean,
a
I
little
don't
bit
know.
too.
Yeah,
there was a couple weird, not weirdos, but like there was a couple guys that maybe push boundaries, especially if you're new to the system. And I mean, one of my friends that's a girl, she woke up with a guy, and she's a lesbian. So it's like, yeah, well, that's
This weekend?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I can tell you that off air. I can tell you about
okay.
that off air.
Yeah.
do
But
you, man?
yeah, and it was like that's just my point was it's a very free flowing community where we're very inviting to everybody apparently.
I guess so.
Yeah,
It should be. We're all just a community of people. Like, there's
yeah.
be a community.
I kind
woke
of wish
up-
I
Love to
woke up with a
people.
lesbian.
I woke up with a very affectionate 50-pound dog.
Yeah, very affectionate. I kind of wish I woke up next to you. Like I needed some cuddle sessions.
You could have gone and cuddled Marty.
I
wasn't
could've.
there to do it myself, so
I could have.
gone.
Did you pull the bed out?
He likes to be the little
yeah.
spoon.
Did you?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
still pulls it out.
I
Yeah.
sleep on the bed. I've never slept on this couch.
I have.
I've
I've
really?
taken naps on the couch.
I may have slept
Often.
for
Probably
20
a good
minutes.
good
on it.
idea to take a nap
You've
on it.
passed out on the couch.
All right, that's the end of the episode.
He's gonna regret starting to have me on these. He's gonna be like, wait a second, this was a mistake.
Yeah.
Got too many embarrassing
We're going
stories.
down a rough road right now.
You gotta love Drunk Marty. Drunk Marty is the cutest because he's
I
really
saw
talkative.
plenty of that this weekend.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't know if it was drunk or high. Either way, it was funny.
He's really happy.
little
He's
bit of
having a
both,
great
yeah.
time, and then he gets really quiet.
Yep.
And then he's like, uh-oh. And then he has to go to bed right when he needs to go to bed, and he'll pass out wherever, and
Well,
I take pictures of him.
I will say I lost him a couple times.
Well, that's why.
Yeah.
It's
You went to
because
bed?
the wonderful thing about having your bed, 50 yards from wherever you're hanging out with people is that I was like, at one point I was watching Moxie and Loon, and I was like, I've been standing in the same place for 15 minutes. I'm having a good time. I've hit a wall. It's time to go to sleep. You know what I mean? And I didn't talk to anybody. I just went and got in bed.
Yeah, you did is it the Irish goodbye? Is that what it's
Well,
called?
I wasn't even hanging out with
Yeah.
anybody.
He
I
doesn't
was just
say
like
anything to
staring into space.
He'll just look at me and go, I want to go to bed. And I'm like, okay, let's go.
Oh, that's classic.
It's great.
Just air it all out. Let them know.
I love it. I love it.
All right.
Man's a
Is there
good
anything
place
else
for
we need
that.
to cover?
Yeah, I think I took up too much of your time.
No, dude.
Yeah.
You're having a good time.
I might edit out the social stratification chat earlier, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, that went off the rails, and nobody who's listened to an episode before is any bit surprised. We had a really good conversation. I look forward to running into Jarrod in his new van once he gets it built. He's traveling the country right now. I think that his sale of his old van went over without a hitch, even though it happened on the other side of the country. And I recommend that you follow him on Instagram and YouTube. You can find him. I'll put a link in the bio. Jarrod Tocci, Jarrod. New word, Tocci. You can find him just by Googling that shit. If you made it this far, guys, I really appreciate it. We'll have another episode for you next Tuesday. Thank you so much for listening to From the Van.